This video deals with demography. What is demography? Demography is the study of population. It includes factors such as including the size and growth of a population, and deals with births and immigration. These actually increase the population, and deaths and immigration decrease the population size. The UK's population grew from 37 million in 1901 to 71 million by 2031. Let's look at birth rate then. There's two measures of births, birth rate and total fertility rate. The birth rate is the number of live births per 1,000 babies born. There has been a long-term decline in the birth rate, but there have been fluctuations. There have been 3 baby booms after the 2 world wars and in the 1960s. The rate fell sharply in the 1970s, rose during the 80s and 90s, and then fell until recent increase since 2001. Okay, the total fertility rate. So fertility is different than birth rate in that the fertility rate is the number of babies a woman will have in her fertile years, which is between the ages 15 and 44. So the amount of children a woman will have between the ages of 15 and 44. The fertility rate obviously affects family and household size. The more children a woman has, the bigger the family. 2 important trends here are more women are remaining childless and women are having children later. That means that they can have less if they start having a family later. Reasons for the fall in birth rate then. There are many social, economic, legal and technological factors which are responsible for the falling birth rate and the total fertility rate. Number 1 is changes in the position of women. Okay, increased educational opportunities and the fact that more women are working. There's also changes in attitudes to family life and women's role, easier access to divorce and access to abortion and contraception. So the fact that women are going out to work, they're putting off having a baby till later or they're not having them at all. The fact that women have increased educational opportunities means that their only goal in life isn't to have a family and have children, but actually to have a good career first. There's easier access to divorce, so women aren't forced to settle for a loveless marriage. And the fact that there's access to abortion and contraception mean that women have a lot more control on how many children they have, if any at all. So that's really the main reasons for the fall in the birth rate. The fall in the infant mortality rate. Right, let's talk about infant mortality rate. Okay, and that's the number of infants who die before their first birthday per 1,000 babies born alive per year. The infant mortality rate has fallen, so it has fallen, so that means there are less babies dying before their first birthday now. In 1900 it was 154 per 1,000 babies born that died, and by 2007 it was 5 babies per 1,000. So the reasons for the fall in the infant mortality rate include improved housing, cleaner houses, better nutrition, knowledge of hygiene and child health, health services for mothers and children has improved. Medical factors didn't play much of a part until the 1950s, when the infant mortality began to fall due to mass immunisation, that's injections, booster shots, immunisation. Antibiotics and improved midwifery and obstetrics. Another reason for the fall in the smaller families is that children are now seen as an economic liability. That means that they actually cost parents a lot of money. It used to be when children were able to go out and work on the farm, it was a great benefit to have a lot of children. Now the fact that children are so expensive, it means that families really are limited in size. Until the late 19th century, children were an economic asset because they went to work from an early age. Now they are an economic liability. Laws banning child labour, that means children aren't allowed to work, mean that the introduction of compulsory skilling mean that they remain at home for longer. That means they're more dependent on their families for longer. And also changing norms. About children's rights to high standard of life raises their cost. As a result, parents may be unable to afford to have a large family. Childhood is now socially constructed. It's socially constructed as a uniquely important period in life, and this has led to a shift from quantity to quality. Parents now have fewer children and lavish more attention and resources on these few. Lower birth rates and fertility rates have several effects on the family and society. Having fewer children means that women are freer to go out to work, creating the dual earner couple. Another term we need to discuss is the dependency ratio. The dependency ratio is the relationship between the size of the working population and the size of the non-working population. The working population's earning and wages support the dependent or the unworking population. So the fact that the working population pay taxes, these taxes go into the NHS or the benefit system, which these people, the non-working people, claim. Children are a large part of the non-working population, of the dependent part of the population. So fewer children reduces the burden of dependency on the working population. Fewer schools, if there's less children out there, there'll be fewer schools, less child health services may be needed, and less should be spent on maternity and paternity leave. However, these are political decisions, e.g. the government can choose to either reduce the number of schools or to have smaller classes instead.